welcome to another CADimensions Tech Tip. My name is Derek, and today we are going to be talking about installing and upgrading SolidWorks. Here's the list of the things we're going to be talking about today, but I'm just going to hop right into the very first thing. The very first thing we're going to be talking about is the system requirements. Now, when you're installing SolidWorks on a machine, you want to make sure that your operating system can or is supported with the SolidWorks version. If you follow that link there, or just go to Google and type in SolidWorks system requirements, it will take you to this page, and you will be able to verify if your operating system is supported with the version of SolidWorks that you are trying to install. Now, where to get the install files? Now, the install files can come from two different places. Most likely, if you're a customer of ours and get sent discs, that's what you're going to want to be using. But if you don't have the disc yet, or you're looking for a specific service pack to install, you can go to the customer portal. Now, to get to the customer portal, you just go to solidworks.com. You'll see the option to log in, and then you'll select customer portal. And then once you log in, you can see under the downloads, there will be a downloads and updates. You select that. You select on the version that you're looking for, and then the specific service pack, and then you can select on that to download. If you do not have a customer portal account, you can go ahead and create one. You'll see how to create one in there, and anybody can anybody can create a customer portal account as long as you have a valid on-subscription serial number. Now, when you start the install, you'll have these four different options. 95% of the time, you'll just be using the individual, and the individual is just installing on that specific machine. Download only, basically what it does is it downloads all the required files so that you can use to install on other machines as well. So you just kind of download it once, and then you can use that to share. So most of the time, you're just going to use individual, but that's the first thing to look at. Now, the next thing to look at is the install settings. Now, this is where it gets into kind of going off of the defaults, but I'll show you what you need to do. Basically, I want to show you that you need to change the products that are being installed, because it will install some things that you might not necessarily need. And if you look here, you can see that the estimated installation size is 9 gigabytes. But what we're going to do is we're going to change some things, and that will go down, and I'll show you a couple more things. So the first thing to do is go into and select change on the products dialog, and then you'll see this list. And you can see that mine is going to install SolidWorks Premium. And you can see included in Premium use, it has like Explorer, Workgroup PDM, Flow Simulation, Plastics, Electrical Composer, and there are a few other things that automatically defaults to installing. What you can do is unselect some of these if you know you're not going to be using these. So in this case, I know I'm not going to be using PDM and Electrical and Composer Player, so I can go ahead and turn those off. And what you'll notice is my personal install went from 9 gigabytes down to 6 gigabytes. So 3 gigabytes of space that I am now saving for other things. So just kind of just double check what's getting installed, because if you don't need it, or if you're not going to use it, or if you don't even have a license for it, you don't have to get that installed. The next thing is the installation location. So when you go back to hit back to summary and get back to that main page, you'll go ahead and hit change on the installation location, and then you'll get this. And what I like to do is I like to put in the year for the version that I'm installing. So you'll see it says C program file SolidWorks Corp 2016. The default path is just SolidWorks Corp, but what I do is I go ahead and click on browse, and then type in the year for the version, and then hit OK. And sometimes you'll be prompted to say, would you like to create this folder? You go ahead and hit yes. And then we'll do the exact same thing for the toolbox. So hit back to summary on the last one, go in and then select change for the toolbox and whole wizard options, and then you go ahead and browse and create a SolidWorks Data 2016. If you don't do this, the next time you go to install, you'll see like a SolidWorks Data with a parentheses 2 or 3 or 4, and then it just gets a little bit confusing which one's which, so I like to specify the version year. Now, if you're upgrading, there's technically 3 ways to get the files if you are upgrading, and 2 of them being the disks and the customer portal. But if you have SolidWorks installed, you can just go into help, and then there is a check for updates. And then what it does is it just checks to see if there's a later service pack or even a newer version, and then you can go ahead and just specify which version you'd like to download, and it will go ahead and download and install on your machine. Now, if you are upgrading, there is this tool called the Copy Settings Wizard, and if you save your settings out, it basically saves all of your user customization so that you can import it into the newer version. So save your settings, and then once you upgrade to the newer version, you can go ahead and restore those settings. It's pretty self-explanatory, but if you have any questions, let us know. Now, the last thing to talk about is the graphics card driver. After upgrading or installing, Sometimes you want to make sure, or all the time you should make sure that your graphics card driver is up to date with what SOLIDWORKS needs, because if you're installing this right out of the box, maybe your graphics card is not up to date. So double checking it and making sure that it is up to date is what you're going to want to do. So if you go into open up your SOLIDWORKS RX program, you can just go into the start menu of your computer and search SOLIDWORKS RX, and you can open this up. If you go into the diagnostics tab, there will be a link and it'll tell you where you can go to get the graphics card driver by putting in the graphics information that you see here. Sometimes you will see that there is a button that says download latest driver. In my case, it was not there, so I just have the screenshot of the link. And that is all for today's tech tip of installing and upgrading. If you would like this presentation as a PDF form, please contact one of our offices and we'll be happy to send this out. And if you have any other questions for installing or upgrading, please let us know. Thanks for watching and hope to see you on another CADimensions tech tip.
Don't forget to check us out on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and our blog for more great content by clicking on the links in the description below.